Hi everyone, welcome to Weekly Cooking with Becky. I am so excited to bring you pumpkin cheese muffins, or like a cheesecake, pumpkin cheesecake muffins. And what I have already done is I have gone ahead and I have done 3 different batches of ideas, and then we're gonna put everything together. So let me tell you what I've done first. In one bowl, you guys can see that okay? So in this bowl, I have, let me check on my thing, 8 ounces of cream cheese that has already been softened. And I have, I want to believe, a 1/4 cup of powdered sweetener, a 0-calorie sweetener for your net carbs. I recommend Swerve. I know people use Better Than Sugar, Allulose, Lecanto, as long as it is a powdered equal to sugar measurement. I prefer Swerve. So that is mine. I will say that the recipe that I'm going to drop into the description uses Lecanto. If you have dogs, be very, very careful because that one has xylitol. So just a little heads up for those of you guys that have your little furry friends. So that's what's in there for these dry ingredients right here. In here, I have 2 cups of almond flour, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/2 cup of granular sweetener. Once again, I use the Swerve. A teaspoon of baking soda, not powder, interestingly. It's baking soda for this one. So that is what is in here. And lastly, don't want to spill any. So there's my puree, kind of look in there. So in here, I have 1 cup of pumpkin puree. By the way, it's only pumpkin. Read the back of those cans. Sometimes it may say it's 100% pumpkin, and you'll find that it has other stuff in that. I've learned that one from a friend with an allergy, and so I'm really good about it. And this is an organic brand, and it is 100% pumpkin. So 1 cup of pumpkin puree, a 1/4 cup of melted butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 eggs swirled up. So let's get baking. All right, so into this bowl with the almond flour and all of the seasonings. I just pre-did this to kind of assemble everything for you today. So in this bowl, we have the almond flour, and to that, we are going to add in the wet ingredients. Add the wet to the dry. So we're adding the pumpkin, the butter, the eggs, and the vanilla extract. And I want to use the scraper too. This part you do not need an electric mixer for. The only thing you need the electric mixer for, just so you guys know, is to make the cheesecake, which is only cheese and the powdered sweetener. And they actually recommend a handheld, not a KitchenAid, but either would work. And it did not take long. So we're just gonna mix this up. Hopefully this will not take too long. I have the oven preheated at 350, and it makes 12 muffins. You use parchment lined or parchment cupcake holders. I'll show you this. And you also are going to spray inside them because this recipe is so moist, and between the moisture of the pumpkin and the eggs and the almond flour, it is recommended to spray this, or we're gonna have some sticky issues with these later on. So make sure you spray them and prepare 12. Okay, almost have this mixed. I'm getting ready to switch over to the bigger one. But just a regular fork, and I'm gonna switch over to the spatula now. Sorry about all that banging. I have been in a pumpkin mood. Oh my land, I don't know about you, I have seen recipes lately for pumpkin donuts, pumpkin bread, but when I saw the pumpkin cheesecake muffins, I was like, oh my, yes, totally. So we have now the pumpkin batter, and we have the cheesecake batter. This is what we were gonna do, and I totally forgot. Grab 2 toothpicks. All right. So I'm gonna show you how I do one, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. So what we're gonna do is you have 2 different size scoops. You have the big one, the muffin size scooper, and then you actually have a cookie scoop. So I'm gonna take the muffin scooper for the muffin batter. Let me try to find, where's one you can see? This one looks like you can see pretty well. And I'm gonna make it pretty full. They said to make it pretty full. Now, even though that looks like you're not gonna add any more, I am. Because now I'm gonna add a dollop here of the cheesecake right on top. And this kind of keeps the mess away. Then you take the two, my fingernails, guys. I know I love having my fingernails. You take the two, and we're gonna start to press down into it. And we're gonna kind of just get to swirling. It does not have to look super pretty because the cheese is thicker, but you definitely want it to go through the entire muffin. Okay, so I have filled all of the trays. Just want to show you what they look like. Let me stick these into the oven. It says about 25 minutes. Everybody's oven's different. I've said in previous videos, always downset by at least 5. So it says bake in preheated oven for 25 minutes. I'm gonna start at 20, and then I'll let you know at the end. So, oops, and I actually just hit 25 after I told you I don't wanna do that. Timer off, 20, back in, 20. There we go. Alrighty. The hardest part of the whole thing was actually swirling the cream cheese into the muffins, but seriously, it was good. They look good, and I have tried each part of the raw batter. They're all equally well. I can only imagine them together. So a serving size is 1 muffin. It's 237 calories. So that could either be a really, really good breakfast. That might be tomorrow's breakfast for me. It could be an after school snack. Yeah, at 237 calories, have fun with it. So it is 6 total carbohydrates for those of you counting total carbs. However, there is 3 grams of fiber. So for those of us doing net carbs, it's 3 net carbs. The sugar alcohols have already been taken out. There is 7 grams of protein. And then there is 21 grams of 21 grams of total fat, which includes your saturated. But if we look at the main numbers, 237 calories, 3 net carbs, and that's not bad. And if you do your fat earlier in the day, you burn it off during the day when you're living the low carb way. All right, so they are out of the oven and they have sat for 10 minutes. So they are still pretty hot. Let me go ahead and show you what they look like. Here's the entire plate full. They look so good. Oh my land, I really, really wish that we could smell them at this particular moment. However, I'm gonna break one of these open. Just look at how moist this is. Oh yeah, it's falling apart. It's kind of like a pumpkin pie, kind of. So we have that. Break it. Oh yeah. So, I just dropped a piece. Oh guys, I'm in heaven. Oh, this is so good. I'm supposed to be eating dinner in an hour. This is so good. And yes, it's gonna be my breakfast tomorrow too. Enjoy.